guest, Dave Badanes. Dave, thank you for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure to be with the king of networking.
Thank you,
and
buddy.
Good morning, Eric, as well. I love your studio.
Oh, thank you, Dave. Thank you
I
very
love
much.
all the rock and roll that you have in here.
You see that? He's eyeing up my albums, Dave.
Yeah, I'm glad you can't hear me during the break, Eric, when you're doing the things, because Dave comes to sit down by the mic. He goes, I see you want me to talk loud. I was like, well, not specifically, but that's real funny. It means I must talk.
David's loud. But you know David. This is David under normal circumstances.
Yeah.
Well, that is true. But
I
again,
guess.
He brings a lot of passion to what he does, which is what makes him very successful.
Yeah, I guess let me tone it down a bit. I
No,
won't talk so loud.
You stay just the way you are, Gus, and don't you change.
But that does make me laugh. And the other thing that was making me laugh this morning is every time you said Dave, it sounded like an echo in the studio, Dave, because you had two Davids answering you. You know, Dave, you're like, yes.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
So we have two Daves in here at the same time. Anyway, Mr. Badanes, I know that you were a divorce attorney.
I am.
And divorce is a serious topic.
I know you were saying that before. I look at this outside. It's a gorgeous day. And you're right. Divorce is not an easy thing to go to. But, I've been through it a million years ago, I like to say. And it may be a hard process when you're going through it. But at the end, I always say, it's going to be a bright, sunny day. And it's going to be a good day after you get through the process. And I believe that for most people, it leads to better and happier times.
Yeah, and hopefully a good day for both sides, of course. But, Dave, before we get into the seriousness of divorce, I want to go into the igniting business part because, Eric, one thing about this show, our audience very well might be mostly in Long Island. That's where our strength comes from. But igniting business, that could be anywhere in the country. So in many ways, while our foundation might be in Long Island and Queens and the New York area and growing, the idea of igniting business could be all around the country. And, Dave, you give me a good example because when people think of businesses networking, they could think of, that solo entrepreneur, the lady who, knits something, or the local artist, or the massage therapist, the insurance person. But, an attorney, that's, thought in higher regard. I know people make fun of attorneys all the time, but as far as the industry that has, a higher regard, yet I've known you we've been around 10 years, Dave. I really must say we probably know each other about 8 or 9.
That's correct.
And you're involved in networking, and you mix things up. And Dave does ignite business, guys. One thing I tell people about igniting business, it's about using multiple tools. Dave goes to events. Dave posts blogs. Dave gets involved with podcasts. So, Dave, people could think my opinion is biased on this networking and igniting business. What's your thoughts on it, sir?
Well, no, you definitely have to do what you call igniting business, networking, getting out there in many different ways. And I agree with you. I'm a big believer that you can't stay static, and you do have to keep trying different things and meeting different people. As you said, I've known you probably about 8, 9, 10 years. I lose track of time, but we've kept in touch, and I meet people. I had somebody who called me a couple of days ago. I met him probably about 5 or 6 years ago. He's a fellow attorney. He couldn't handle divorce, so he called me. As you said, it's all about networking and meeting people and doing different things, whether it's Facebook, writing articles, giving seminars, going to events. All those things add into the mix. And I do believe those are things you have to do.
Yes. No, Dave, love it. Everything you just said, you threw in a nice little mixture there. One of the things I know you do a lot of, and maybe once again in this marketing business segment of it, is a lot of people have heard of the term blog. Non-techie people get scared of any new term. But I'm not a big-time techie, and I don't think you're a big-time techie.
A little bit.
More than me, maybe. But I think a blog, when explained and stuff, is as easy to use as an email. I see on your website and for your practice, you do put a blog on a lot. A blog, one of the things about a blog, guys, is once it's on the web, as opposed to an email, which you could send out a very informative email, but usually an email, you send it, someone opens it, and then for the most part, it disappears into email thin air. When you put out an informative blog and put it on your site, it gives you a value of a lifetime. Dave, I see on a very consistent basis, which is very important for blogging, you're putting out informative information all the time. By doing so and putting it on your site, you're now putting constant informative information on your site that has a landing page to be found forever. Once again, I like others' opinions on it instead of mine. Your thoughts, sir?
Oh, absolutely. And you're right. people hear these words, they get thrown out every day. And a blog, I just look at it as an article, a newsletter that happens to be on the internet that, I post. Typically, they're usually fairly short, but think of it as if you're an old timer, as a newspaper article, just something that you write. And now it's called a blog because you put it on the internet. And you're absolutely correct. It stays there forever, and you can post it on Facebook. You can tell people to look at it, and they are informative. And that's what I like about blogs. They're sort of I'm a big believer in keep it simple, stupid kind of thing, and bullet points. And that's what I try to do with my blogs. I try to make them readable for the consumer, not readable to other attorneys. Other attorneys like me, they know about divorce law. They don't need to be informed about it. My audience and what I try to write is so people can understand them and understand what I write. And blogs are a great way to do that.
Yeah. Hey, guys, I was saying it's the last quarter of 2017, and, me personally, I'm in a thing, I hear stuff, and then a new thought comes into my head. So, Eric and Dave, I'm going to stick with you on this thought. This is a good business word for a long time to come, and then I'm going to say why I say consistency. I think for the end of the year in 2018, one of the 5 business buzzwords should be consistency. And what inspired me to actually think of that, Dave, was you first mentioned that an attorney that you met 5 years ago. Because we all want, when Eric meets someone for the podcast, he'd love to say, yeah, I want to sign up. Where do I do it? I'm in. When you meet someone, overall, yes, I need a divorce. Me, yes, I want to advertise. But that's not how business works all the time. You plant seeds. You planted a seed 5 years ago that you weren't expecting that call a few days ago, like you said. But 5 years ago, you planted a smart seed that led to something for business. So consistently planting smart seeds and then consistently posting blogs. Consistently.
Absolutely.
Not like once every few months, but consistently.
Absolutely. That's what I do. I try to have a blog at least once a week. And you're right, to make it consistent and keep giving more information. And you're right, consistency is a big deal when it comes to blogging because, if you only do it once, a month, once a year, that's not going to help anybody. So you have to keep it fresh and you have to keep doing it at least on a weekly basis.
Eric, I'm coming to you next, but I'm going to say this one out loud again because we listen to business people. If I'm considered some type of expert on anything, it's about marketing and getting your name out there and all that stuff. Guys, I want to emphasize consistency. Consistency is more important than any great idea that anyone brings to you. Because any one great idea on its own, it might even be a decent idea, but if it's not implemented consistently, if it's not done consistently, plus if it's a great idea, it will probably run its limit of how good it's a great idea for, and then you got to get back to consistency. Eric, you're in a business where if someone said, oh, I love the idea of the podcast, but that they came and they did one podcast,
it doesn't work.
That's not going to do it. But consistency, and you've been in more than just podcasting. You've been in marketing for as long as I've known you in many years. Your thoughts on consistency, your best information on consistency for our listeners.
No matter what you're doing, no matter what type of advertising, whether you're writing, whether you're posting, whatever it is, if you do it once, maybe someone will see it. If you do it twice, maybe someone will see it. If you do it, as David used the word, consistently, and you get into a habit of being able to post, too many people out there are looking for immediate results from something, and then they get disappointed and they stop. The trick, I like to say, is to not stop. You have to just keep putting, like right now, I've spent the last however many minutes that you've been on sharing David's show all over the different Facebook pages, all over the different groups, and everywhere that we could. I do this every time we have a show. People look for this. They will see it. They look for the shows. If I didn't do that, if I wasn't consistent with my marketing efforts as trying to promote it right now, you wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? The audience would not be there. People are going to look for repetition. It's like when somebody goes in and you go into a store and you go down an aisle. You know where that product is that you're looking for because it's consistently in the same spot. It's the same thing with podcasting or internet radio or any type of show. Well, TV shows, you look for shows. You want to know when something is on, you're going to go there because you know it's there. And that's what this is about. They know David's here on Sunday mornings. David is consistent with walking in, giving me a hug, saying thank you and sitting down at a chair and being consistent. I know David Gusson, what he expects on a Sunday morning. He's consistent with what he does. He's consistent with his show, and that's why he has fans. He's consistent with his networking efforts, 516-631-718, and that's why it's working. David Badanes is a successful lawyer because he's consistent with his blogs, with his advertising, with his website. everything works when it's put together and done right.
Yeah, actually, the last thought I was going to come back to, Dave, and that's true, consistency. And that does matter with marketing, because marketing and the people who represent it, there's a world of fluff out there. A really good example is many years ago, business people, there's that Star magazine. So if you remember the Star magazine before all this stuff, it had over 6 million viewers, and it was the Star, and you could take out an ad in the back for actually several $100s, even going back 20, 30 years. And what you would do when you don't know is like, okay, if they got 6 million people and I get 1%, that's 60,000. But ladies and gentlemen, you got to break it down to point. For real. Because you get about it might be reaching 6 million, but you might just get 3 to 5,
Right.
inquiries from it. What's the point? On that? Because 10% of 1% is 60,000, I think, in that case. I mean, it's just so little. But consistent, and Dave, once again, that's what you do, is consistency.
Absolutely.
And even separate from marketing, Dave, one thing I know, you practice a different type of law, and I love it. I want to get into it, but it does have to do with business. Separate from the whole marketing or any one thing, for business owners out there, Dave, as an attorney, do you have any advice for them? Top 2 or 3 tips of what they need to do to best set themselves up for success?
Well, every business is different, but I kind of said it before. I think you can't stay static. You have to keep reading your customers and your clients and making sure you're meeting their needs, and their needs may be changing every day. So you can't just sit on your laurels, so to speak. I think that some business owners, they say, well, I did it 10 years, 20 years ago, and they just keep wanting to do it the same way. That doesn't typically work. You really have to keep trying different things. Going on your show, using 516 and 631 ads. Those are the kind of things that business owners need to keep networking and keep marketing and keep trying different things. When the internet first came along, a lot of business owners were very reluctant. They were like, what the heck is this new thing? But obviously now, going 10, 15, 20 years after now the internet is, mushroomed, now they see the value of it. But it's not just, the internet. People, they don't even know what that means sometimes. Again, it's using it the right way, consistently, whether you use Facebook, what other social media you want to use. But again, you have to keep changing with the market.
Consistently create activity.
That's right.
Consistently create activity. And, you talk about social media. Everyone has that term in their mind. And Dave will say Facebook and Twitter and all the things that we're on. But there's another form of socialness, and that is bringing people together in some type of formats, face-to-face.
Absolutely.
Whatever it is, that, as Dave said a few moments ago, every business is different. So if you have a car dealership and you want to invite people over for a thing at your car dealership, an event, so they can see your place, that's one thing. If you're an attorney and you want to hold some type of educational seminar together in the proper setting, that's another way to bring people together.
Absolutely.
So that's another form of being social. And I got to tell you, being social face-to-face goes a long way in this social media world. Dave, I don't know how much, Eric, I don't know how much time we have left, but actually props to you on that. You run this. This is also based off of social media, based off the internet, but you're out there busting your butt all the time, whether you're videotaping, DJing, shaking hands, doing nonprofit work, but you're getting your face out there in the community. You're not just sitting behind the screen or a microphone. You're out there building relationships, buddy. So great work.
Thank you, David. I appreciate that. And it's because of people like you that we get the message out there and that we're able to do what we want to do here.
We all benefit from each other. When great people work together, great stuff happens. So no matter where you are in the country or the world, you want to get a little bit more successful, surround yourself with people who create business, surround yourself with people with great attitudes, surround yourself with people who seem to be good teammates. Doesn't mean you won't run into a pain in the butt every now and then, but chances are you'll run into a lot of great people and you'll start benefiting from each other. Sounds like my music's in the background. Guys, we're going to be covering the serious topic of divorce. We'll be back right after this.
Long Island's my home. It's a great place to live, but it's also a great place to vacation, to visit. And the Jones Beach Hotel, as David had said before, is such a fantastic hotel with so much history and so much beauty. I mean, just the views of Jones Beach and is amazing in itself. And if you stop and you really think about it, you might want to check out the Jones Beach Hotel. You can check them out at www.jonesbeachhotel.com, jonesbeachhotel.com. You can give a call at 516-785-2020. That's 516-785-2020. You can make reservations, view the room, check out local attractions, sign up for their newsletter, the Jones Beach Hotel at jonesbeachhotel.com. Neuroendocrine cancer awareness is, cancer, there's so many, you hear the stories all the time. You hear, like even now with Julia Dreyfus in the news with breast cancer and things like that. And, the word cancer in itself is a very scary word for a lot of people. But it can be, when you have people that care, and it's about education, it's about understanding, and it's about knowing what direction you have to go in. When it comes to neuroendocrine cancer, the Neuroendocrine Cancer Awareness Network is where you want to be and where you need to get the education and knowledge that you need to be able to fight this disease. Check them out online at netcancerawareness.org. That's netcancerawareness.org. Michael's Full Service Hair Salon. It was like when David, I got all excited before. 18%. Dave, is that right? 18%. They're going to
18% through the end of the year. Just mention 516 ads, 18% off.
Let me tell you something. All right, these guys got it going on. They're a full-service hair salon, hair design and styling, color servicing. And you know what? Consider this. You're going to be planning for that wedding coming up in 2018 or 2019, and you're going to have a bridal party and bridal services, and you want to look your best, and you want to look for somebody that knows what they're doing, that's done it before, and that has the experience to be able to handle it on that stressful day of getting married. Well, Michael's Full-Service Hair Salon, not only for your everyday hair needs, but for your wedding services as well. You can check them out online at michaelshairmassapequa.com, michaelshairmassapequa.com. Give them a call, 516-798-9139, or just stop in at 90 Veterans Boulevard in Massapequa, okay? Concierge Lifestyle. Whether it's specialty store shopping, dry cleaning and laundry, housekeeping, pet care, party planning, whatever it needs. You know the word concierge? Well, these are the concierge lifestyle services, and you got to check them out at Concierge Lifestyle US, conciergelifestyle.us, conciergelifestyle.us, and check out the website. The website tells you everything you need to know. All right, so check it out. Now, of course, leaving the best for last. David Badanes, award-winning Long Island divorce lawyer. As he says, divorce is a difficult time. You're going to face many important decisions, and you're going to need a Long Island divorce attorney who understands that each divorce is different. At Badanes Law Office, your needs come first. You work directly with the principal attorney, receiving prompt, reliable, and attentive care to all matters of your case. If you're contemplating divorce, you can check out his video. All right, you can check out his video at dbnylaw.com. That's dbnylaw.com. Give him a call, 631-239-1702, 631-239-1702. Hey, Dave, I got a question. All right, I got a question for you, Dave. When somebody calls 631-239-1702, you're going to get on the phone and you're going to talk to them and you're going to get them a consultation and put them at ease? How does that work?
Absolutely. Unless I'm in court, obviously, but when they call, I talk to them. They do get a free consultation. I listen to what they want, what their needs are, because, as you say, each divorce, each person is different, and each person wants something different out of their divorce. There's no such thing as a cookie-cutter divorce. Some people come to me and they want this thing, and other people say, I want that thing, and everyone is different. So you really have to listen to what their needs are, and that's what I try to do. And I try to give them what they want, and I give them the legal advice. And again, I try to explain it in plain English so they understand it. I don't throw out fancy legal terms because it's just going to go right over their head. And I try to get right to the meat of the problem and say, okay, what are the issues here, and what can I do to help you? And I view myself as getting them from point A to point Z in the most efficient manner possible, and that's what I do when they
couldn't have said it better myself. All right, I tell you, how many years practicing law?
Well, this is actually my second career, so this is 15 years now.
There you go. But that's hey, but you know what? listen, when it comes to divorce, it's no joke, and you want a divorce attorney that knows what they're doing, what he is doing. And check him out, Badanes Law Office, dbnylaw.com. You can give him a call, 631, 239-1702.